What's up, everyone? All right, we're back for another tier list. This time we have top countries, and less about the countries, more about the women. Okay, so top nationalities, top countries of women to date, marry, sleep with, have a romantic walk along the beach with. We will cover this in depth. I was chatting to Swift about this earlier. I don't think this is why I made the title like no one's brave enough to do this or some shit. I think every other dating coach, I can't think of one person that is as well traveled as us that is also obviously sleeping with a lot of women at the same time.
Yeah, and I went through some of these lists that guys are making. There's actually quite a few, and some big channels, and you could tell they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. They don't have any experience with these women. They probably never left the country, maybe for a short vacation. So there's a lot of horrible information out there about dating women from different cultures, and even like some of the guys from their own country kind of they don't even know their own women as well.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because I feel like that happens where we've been to countries, right? I think Indonesia on the list. We'll talk about that in a sec. But like, you go to Indonesia as a white guy or someone like outside of their culture, suddenly these girls are so open, right? Like they're down to tell you their craziest fantasies, whatever, they're down to meet up. And then you speak to someone in that country and they're like, no, the girls here are very conservative, very religious. They'd never blah, 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 blah. And so, yeah, I think guys get stuck in that trap as well, where they're treated like a local. And so you get probably a different interpretation of what the women are really like because they put you in that local basket.
So I remember Serbia, we were in Belgrade, and I had multiple girls tell me, oh yeah, with Serbian guys, I'm like traditional conservative, good girl, and I behave a particular way. And it's like, well, when I find a foreigner, that's when I kind of, I'm a whore. And like, look, Polish guys are the same way. Like you talk to Polish guys, oh no, Polish girls are beloved Polish girls. They would never fuck foreigners, and they're they're such good girls, and it's like
don't know about that.
Maybe with Polish guys.
Yeah,
but then
exactly.
Again,
maybe with
Polish
guys.
like students that kill it with Polish girls.
Yeah.
So
I think like when I think about this, it's with both. Like I started off in Sydney where you get a lot of fucking tourists. Like I was going out every night of the week. Monday night was like backpacking night, so you get all like British fucking tourists and shit. Tuesday was like a salsa night, so a bunch of South Americans. Wednesday you go down to Bondi, it was all Scandinavians. Thursday was just like a total mix. So I got a lot of like and I think this is different too, like the traveling tourists from like those countries, and then also what they like in their own countries, sometimes slightly different. But then also we've traveled a bunch. Like we've done boot camps all fucking around the world. We've had students from all around the world. And yeah, I think you're not going to get a more comprehensive list. I can't think of another dating coach that has traveled, let alone actually slept with a bunch of these. I think you said you're up to like, how many different nationalities did you work it out to be?
I actually keep track of that, and I have to check my document, but it's between 80 and 100 like different nationalities.
That's insane.
But look, guys have to understand, I've been traveling my entire life. Like I haven't, like even since I was a kid, I've been traveling. I left home when I was a senior in high school and started traveling when I was 17, 18. My first pool was like an Australian girl in Austria. Like my next 8 pools were all from different countries: Spain, France. Like even exclusive girlfriends were from different countries. So like my life is just women from different countries, but also a lot of guys are gonna be like, oh, okay, so you're not in America. No, it's even still today, majority of my lays are still from, I would say, probably America. American girls.
So as we go through this list, I don't know how we'll rank it, because I think what we do is basically give a bunch of like pros and cons and maybe some tips about dating these types of girls, and then the S to D is probably just going to be like somewhat of a personal preference, right? Like we'll probably differ a little bit. So maybe if we really feel strongly about an ST, we just do it even if we disagree. But yeah, the whole point of this is give you some like tips, let you know what these girls are like, maybe some tips on how to game them, and then give you like our personal preference, right? Like I remember I grew up with a wing. I was like fucking 25 or something. But when I first started gaming, I had a wing that loved Indian girls, like love and hated white girls. And I was like, this is perfect. So yeah, you're gonna have like preferences. So yeah, don't be butthurt. And if you're like
a lot of guys are going to be a little bit more like you, like in their preferences. I've noticed, like, there are guys who are like, I'm with Mark on this one. I love the Swedish girl and this and that. And the other guys are like,
guys.
Like Mark is, he likes those little, like liberal open women. I want like a one leg count guy like you, David, or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
More conservative, traditional. So I think it's going to be, I think, a very good discussion, and you're going to get information from people, two guys, experienced guys with different preferences. It's not completely different, I would say, maybe in some areas, but
I think what we do is we have one S tier veto card. So if we don't agree on an S tier, and you're like, listen, I love who's on this list. I love Chinese women. Okay, that's my thing. That's what, and I'm like, bro, I don't like Chinese. Then you can like veto that. Be like, this is my one veto card. This is going in the S tier. It has to be up there.
I mean, it's interesting you said Chinese, because I'm not particularly into Chinese women. I was
picking a random example that we.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, I've had some Chinese girls like in rotation and everything. Not very many. But they were amazing. They were incredible, actually. I was actually
your doctor girl was Chinese, right?
I had a Chinese doctor. Yeah, I had a lot of doctors, but one was Chinese. Yeah.
All right. Let's should we jump into it?
I'm ready. I don't know if the guys are ready though.
You guys never gained to Japan, Korea, or China, right? I'm vetoing and putting Korean girls in S tier. There you go. See, that's something I disagree with. Yeah, we'll let you know which places that we've gone through that we've actually gained in, or we've just gained women outside of that country in other places. So we'll go through and let you know our experience. Some of these places, actually, I'm not sure the whole list, but some of these places I wouldn't have had too much experience in, and Swift might have, like Central Asia, for example. So yeah, we'll kind of go through and let you know like where the expertise comes from, and where our opinions stem from. So okay, cool. Your kids will turn up butched. I don't know what that means. Okay. All right, let's start with Polish girls. What are your thoughts on Polish women?
Do we have a tier list thing graphic?
Oh, fuck. Sorry. I'm looking at it, but no one else can see it. Okay. let me pull this up. There we go.
Okay, Polish. Now, we have a lot of experience with Polish
women. A lot of experience.
My first Polish girl was in 2005, 2006 in Krakow. So I've been going to Poland for 21 years. And man, with Polish women are a lot different. Like back in the day, like all the way up until like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, they were very different. Let me tell you, like they were well known for telling you that they're good girls. I don't know, like they all got a memo.
I'm a good girl.
I got frustrated one time years ago, and I said, I'm never coming back to Poland. Okay, like the women are just too traditional. They keep saying they're good girls. They're difficult as fuck. Now that changed once the abortion issues started popping up, and they started marching in the streets. They were a lot more open after that, and never got I'm a good girl. But I would put Polish women. They have to be S tier, because there's so many like pretty, beautiful Polish women. And like, even if you get an average Polish girl, you're getting a pretty bangable Polish girl. Like, this is the best you could get. Is like whatever average is in Poland. Now they're not, I won't say they're not too crazy, like compared to a lot of other girls. A little bit possessive, a little bit jealous. They do have egos around certain things. But the one thing is, they're not gold diggers. They're not like money hungry gold diggers. They care more about they're more about like their like tradition or the relationship itself. They're less focused on money and materialism. And overall, Polish girls are just, I don't know, they're just great. They're kind of boring a little bit. They could be, compared to some of the other girls on this list. But if you're looking for a good wife, I think Poland is a great place.
Yeah, 1,000%. My 5-year relationship was with a girl with a background of like she was born in Australia, was Polish. Yeah, these I completely agree. There was like a almost like sexual revolution that we kind of witnessed and went through, and girls became a lot more open minded. And yeah, 100%. Like these girls are usually very good looking, super low obesity rates. The competition as well. That's another thing we should think about. Is most of the guys are fucking awful. Like they're just drunk.
That's a good point. The competition. Yeah. If you lived in Warsaw, I lived in Warsaw for a long time, and man, they compete. They really compete because there's so many beautiful, hot women. So the competition is there. So they're gonna work for you. Now there's a couple other girls in this list where they compete a lot more than the Polish girls, but yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with Polish women.
Yeah. All right, a Canadian.
Well, the one thing we do know about Canadian girls.
Yeah, yes. Yo, these girls love a gangbang. I can tell you that much.
If I look at the nationality, if I rank the nationalities by gangbang, Canadian is number one. I don't know what it is. We meet a Canadian girl in the club, and we're immediately talking about Canadian girls are known for, and they're very compliant when it comes to the gangbang. I don't know. There's something about gangbangs and Canadians, and they're like they come across very nice and sweet sometimes, and you just kind of wouldn't expect them to be like, oh yes, I would love a gangbang, eh?
That's no bad.
You know how different are they from American girls? I don't know. They're pretty similar. They seem to be a little bit nicer,
Yeah, I do find them. I prefer Canadian over American. I do. It's hard to point the finger on what. I feel like there's a closer culture, like slightly. It's slightly closer to Australia than it is like Americans close to Australia. Like there is more of just like this relaxed, more chill vibe I get from them.
It's more European kind of.
Yeah. It's so I we can mix these up maybe a bit later. I don't think they quite hit S tier. I would put them A tier. I think Canadians are great.
Yeah, well, I'll give you that. I don't want to use my veto power. Veto power. I mean, I would look just because I don't know. I would personally put Canadian like in the middle, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, we can switch it up later. I like it. Canadian. Okay. African. So here, I don't have much experience with like African women, so that's why I didn't niche this down to like Ethiopian versus Kenyan or something. Like, I just kept this as African. I have little experience here. I've traveled to South Africa, but nowhere really else.
We need to separate South Africa with like the rest of
Africa. Yeah. I've got South Africa as separate. I do.
Okay. Perfect.
But that's like so I'm familiar with South Africans, but not really much with Africa. And then like even if you look at how many girls I've slept with, it's probably like 5 to 10 or something. It's really not many. So I don't have a strong preference for African women. I'm not really that attracted to them. I find them very like loud and slightly annoying. But yeah, what do you think, Swifty?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on which. Africa is pretty big. Depends on which country. I'm not particularly into African women. I did date an African American, not like African American, but like actually like African American many years ago. I had a couple of girls from Zimbabwe during my travels in the last few years, Nigeria, a few other countries. I don't know, like they were fun. I have to say, like it was a different experience than like Ukrainian women, and they had very nice bodies, like very curvy, voluptuous, like big ass, big titties. But like I don't know, I think this is going to be unfair for the guys who like African girls. We can't really give you a whole lot of information on this, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, this is Day. I've got we'd have a student actually. I was doing one-on-one coaching with him that he did a trip to I think it was Ethiopia or something, and he went with one of the other mastermind guys, and they had a lot of fun. Like they're into African women, and they thought it was like fucking perfect for them. but yeah, I agree. Like, I think from a friendship sense, these girls can be like super fun, like outgoing, like blah blah. The ones that I've met, but outside of that, like romantic or sexual for me, I don't dig it. So that'd be a D for me. Belarusian.
Yeah, Belarusian. Now, I saw another lists where they like Belarus, Ukraine, Poland. They're just like putting all these countries together. It's like, nah, you just don't understand. You don't understand, because you know if you got a Belarusian girl, and you know if you got a Ukrainian girl on your hands, and you know if you have a Polish girl. Okay, like this is different personalities. How you approach them is going to be very different or slightly different. And Belarusians are, man, they have to be in the top 3 most difficult to deal with. Even more than Ukrainian. A lot of people think Ukrainian and Belarusians are the same. They're not the same.
No.
Belarusians take that resting bitch face to another level.
Yeah.
They embody a lot more attitude. Let me tell you a story. We brought home 2 Belarusian girls. Okay. It's like midnight or 1 a.m. Okay. So like we're pulling, oh, hey, we're going to fuck sort of thing. You know, it's 1 a.m. You're in my apartment. And they just sit down in the living room immediately on their phones, whatever, as if like they own the place, you know? And they're like, oh, I can't be bothered. And we were trying to like talk to them and shit. And they were like, oh, why are you like, almost like this is their apartment. Why are you in my apartment? Oh my God. And it's like, I don't know, it's the non-compliance and the bitchiness, even when they're in your apartment in the living room, and like they want to fuck, but they're not giving that away at all. Like, what are most guys going to do in that situation? Like, you just think the girls fucking hate you. You're going to call them a bitch. You're going to kick them out. So if you don't understand Belarusian girls and how they operate and how they handle them, man, they're going to be a fucking nightmare. And they are to most guys, unless you're like a Belarusian guy.
Yeah.
Belarusian, man, I don't want to put them as high as Ukrainian. I don't know. What do you want to? I think the attitude and bitchiness kind of drops them a little bit. I think it's less manageable than a Ukrainian girl. So I would probably put them at B.
Yeah,
but
I think B is fair.
Hot ones.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Yeah. Oh, here we go. American. Hang on. Bruh, hello. What girls are we talking about? Girls from different countries, my man. Well, yeah, different regions. So I also, there's a couple of here that are regions that we've kind of lumped in together. And then some of these are going to be like Scandinavian, for example. Yes, isn't a country. But yeah, areas, if you want to be hyper specific. Ukrainian and Russian are not really fun. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. All right. American. Alrighty. Where the fuck do I want to put American? Yeah, I feel like obviously like it's going to depend where they come from, blah, blah, blah. But like American girls in general compared to these others are going to be a lot more fun to actually have an interaction with. So, you know, obviously speaking to a Polish girl, you're not going to have very many similarities or a lot of like cultural sort of shared experiences. But like American girls, you can have similar media. You can joke about certain things. They can give a little bit of banter back and forth. They're going to be a lot more open sexually and, you know, more adventurous as a person. So American girls can be a lot of fun. It's a lot less like I'm a good girl to kind of deal with, but then also they're a lot more obese. They're less attractive on general. They can be a bit more, well, they are a bit more masculine. So yeah, what do you think, Swifty?
Yeah, see, I'm torn here. As an American, I've had a lot of great experiences with American women, a lot of fun, and I love the banter. You can't interact with a lot of these other countries like you can with American girls, right? They're a lot more open. You could have more open conversations, even sexually. There's much better banter. It's more fun in many ways. And there's a good mix. Like you could get all kinds of different archetypes in America.
Yeah.
Now, like, would I go back to America and go find an American wife, you know, that like settle down and have kids with? I would, and I am, by the way, I am 100% avoiding American women in terms of finding a wife and the mother of my kids. So, they're great all the way up until you're 40 and you're ready to settle down and raise kids, in my opinion. But I look, when I'm away from America, I miss America. I do miss like talking to American women. Like Polish girls, that can get a little bit kind of boring. The Belarusian kind of get a little bit boring. But you know what? I kind of like the boringness of it. You know what I mean? It's a lot more peaceful. Like the American girls could start up a lot of drama. They're all over the fucking place. And it's like, do you really want that like long term, especially when you get to my age? You kind of appreciate the stability, okay, and the boringness of some of these other nationalities.
Yeah, 100%. Depends where you're. I've met some amazing, like, I don't know geography in America that great, but like Southern girls with the accent and shit. Like some of those girls are fucking awesome. But yeah, I agree. Like overall, on average, I'd give it like a B. All right. Brazilian.
Oh, this is man. This was sort of when I was growing up, I loved Brazilian women. Like, I had a lot of experience with Brazilian women up until like my mid 20s, late 20s. Okay. I went after Brazilian women. I loved them. I love the body, the physique, the big booty, and the one thing Brazilian girls have is passion.
Yeah. Okay. True. Yeah.
I've never had women so jealous after just meeting them, like in the club or something. Like,
yeah, true.
Crazy. Like I talked to them for like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and they get jealous and passionate. And like, it's like it's your wife of 10 years or something. And you're like betraying her. And it's like, man, this is fun, you know? So like when I meet Brazilian women, my game changes. So it's kind of one of those nationalities where it really changes when it comes to like Brazilian women versus other women. I would be a lot more passionate and sort of like loving and with Brazilian women. I love Brazilian women, but they do have a party culture in Brazil, and they're always partying. All the Brazilian women I know, they're always going out, they're always dancing, they're always drinking, and they cheat a lot, according to the statistics. They have one of the highest cheating rates, and that's probably because they have a very fun, outgoing culture. They're always going out, but Brazilian men also cheat as well, equally. So I think they just cheat on each other and get jealous of each other, and that's just the way the culture is. Now, I'm not saying you can't go to some small village or small town in Brazil. You know, Brazil is a huge country, and find a nice, conservative, traditional Brazilian woman. But like, how many of you are actually going to do that? And if you're looking for Brazilian women outside of Brazil, you're probably not going to find that either.
Yeah, and there's also a big like language barrier, which is tough. Like a lot of these other places on the list we go through, like Polish girls, for example, like there's a language barrier in that it can be difficult to have like sarcasm, humor, cultural references, but you can communicate. Like they've got conversational English for the most part. Brazil is a little bit more difficult there. Like it really is going to benefit you if you speak Portuguese or speak the language of some of these places where English just isn't that great. So I personally I like white girls. I don't know what to tell you. So, but I'm living through my students here a little bit. Okay, they love Brazilian girls. Okay, because they are incredibly gorgeous. They're super, the tan, big booties. As you said, they're super passionate. It's like sexual. It's very loving. It's very like high intensity. I think that's bad for a relationship. Like I would want a girl that is more maybe selective or grounded. But I mean, living through my students, I'm happy to put this at like an A or a B.
Well, I'm curious because you're very extroverted. You wouldn't like the outgoingness or the extroverted nature of a Brazilian girl?
I would like it, but not in like a relationship. So what I mean by that is, so I don't mind the extrovertedness.
Can you tell them the difference between like, because I think we both have different, maybe slightly different preferences when it comes to like, hey, when we're night gaming or when we have like a casual thing or even like sort of a girlfriend thing. And like, hey, this is my wife, mother of my kids. I'm like settled with this one girl forever. Like these are different.
So you and I are going to be different here. Like my wife that I'm settled with and having kids, I would actually prefer like an extroverted girl. Like I want someone I can go out and head to a music festival with and her not have to like stay at home and be like, oh, I'm worried. Like I want to be able to go to a party and her chat to all the girls and me hanging with the guys or us mingling shit, like without having to like look after her there. Like that's what I prefer. But the Brazilian part of that, with that whole like passion side, is if I'm in a relationship, like I don't want to be that built on this girl loving me right away and just being like, you know, the love bombing and oh my God, I found the one, and she's done like 5 other times with 5 other guys, and then the next guy that pops up that she meets, oh, in love with this guy, or this huge like jealous, emotionally unstable kind of like she's blowing up your phone 20 times. That can be fun casually, of course. Like as you said, it's fun in the club to meet a girl and like 10 minutes later she's telling other girls to leave us alone in his mind or something. That can be like really exciting. But to have that in a relationship is a big no for me. So like I would separate in my mind the extroversion from like the emotional instability of like falling in love really quickly. Because like Australians, for example, we'll get to that in a sec. Like, yeah, I feel like you can be extroverted, but also like super respectful within a relationship. Whereas I feel like you'd probably prefer someone that's like a little bit more introverted, I'd say.
Yeah, not like super extreme. Like I would like to go to like, you know, I brought my girl to Tomorrowland. And she's pretty like outgoing and everything there. But look, I could lock her down. You know, I could lock her down. You know,
put her in a cage.
Put her in a cage, and like she'll like be fine. She doesn't need like that external, you know, validation or anything. So I like a like mostly introvert. But you could go outside like you want. She wants to go outside, you know. Like, David, can I please go outside? It's been 3 months. Like a little bit of that.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We're gonna do. We're gonna do a red flag tier list actually at some point. So we've already started running that up, and I think that's a big one. Need for external validation. That's a big red flag. So we got to remember to put that in there. But she wants to go outside, lol, yeah. In Brazil, it's normal to kiss a stranger on the street because you find them hot. Then never talk to them again. Yeah, dude, we have a student who did boot camp with us in Bali that is now in Brazil. He was there for like the big party festival thing that was on Carnival, or and he was messaging us and he's like, bro, like I'm slaying. He's like every day is like a new girl, and he's like they're all my type, and so he's loving it. So like yeah, I mean, I'm happy to put like
you don't want your wife, you don't want to learn that your wife was slaying, you know, for 15 years during Carnival. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like, oh, she was, hey, look, she was living her life. And,
she's like MPUA level.
You know what I mean? It's like she has like 500 lay count or K close count or kiss count is 5,000. It's like,
true.
Yeah, you don't want that. But Brazilian women are fun. They're great all the way. I would say all the way up into to marriage. Maybe if you want to marry a Brazilian woman, go to some small village somewhere. But the culture's there no matter what. But by the way, like we have to say, because I don't want anyone to think I'm particular into one girl only. You know, I've had a lot of women, different races, ethnicities. I like a little bit of flavor, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But we do have preferences. I think your preferences are a lot more strict. Mine is a little bit more open. Like I'm more focused on I don't know, like personality traits, and
he's about the connection. Yeah,
connection.
Her smile. Yeah, I'm a little bit more racist. Okay,
he's focused on like, hey, I want my kids to look like a, you know, Aryan.
They need to look like me, okay? I need listen, white people are getting taken out slowly, all right? I gotta try get that birth rate of white people up. All right.
But
that being said,
like Asian, like we're not like the guys that go to like Asia or something like the Philippines.
That being said, okay, just to prove I'm not like fucking anti, but what, British is a D. I don't care. I'll use this as my veto if I need to. Okay, good. Yes. Okay.
Now, I was born in England. I was born in Britain. I was born in England. And I would like to put Britain. I don't know if we should separate the different parts of Britain, but I think it's all pretty much the same to me. Like English is the worst, obviously. I would put them below D if I could. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I go through reels sometimes at night with my girl, and I taught my girl, you know, she didn't believe me. I said, like, English women have the weirdest bodies, like they have the weirdest shapes. I don't know what is going on with their body, but it's like a weird thing where they're like super fat or like round. It just looks disgusting. And a lot of British women have the body type, horrible teeth, something with their nose or something like coming out of their face. They're just ugly as fuck.
Mhm.
And I remember my girl like we're going through reels. She's like, "Oh, she's British. She's British." We like find out she's British. Like anytime it's like super fucking ugly white girl with weird teeth and a very weird body, it's usually a British woman or like an American of like British.
And bro, the amount of fucking makeup. Actually, I do want to maybe we should have broken this up. Yeah. I would say I've been with girls from like Scotland and Ireland, and their personalities are a little bit better. But like this whole like covered in absolute makeup, their extension things are coming out here. They've got like painted on eyebrows and stuff. Do British men like this? I don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, have you seen British guys and their haircuts? You know what
I mean? Yeah, it's true. It's just fucking as bad.
Like so it's white teeth and like the weird haircut. So like I think they're just ugly people in general. Yeah,
just ugly people. And then they're like, I would say they are sexually more open, but it's just like sloppy. It's just like drunk and unselective and. Oh man, and they're so they're the worst tourists. Okay, now this is good. They're the worst fucking tourists. Mostly British men too, but like you go to anywhere, like you go to Budapest, the most annoying fucking tourists in the world are the English. Holy fuck. Now again, being said, I've been with some English girls that were like not like that. Obviously, we're stereotyping here, and some are amazing, but like on average, holy fuck. When I hear the accent, I'm like, gross. So yeah, I would say, I don't know if I've separated on the list, but if there is like Scotland or Ireland or something, I would maybe put that in like a C. I think they're a bit better. All right. My people.
All right.
Australian.
Okay. Well, this is your people, so maybe I'll talk about this a little bit. Growing up, there was a few nationalities I loved the most. Okay. Mm-hmm. Brazilian, German, and Australian. Okay, like at one point, my dream was to marry an Australian woman. Okay, like I don't know. I like growing up, I was like, "Hey, mom, I'm going to Australia. I'm getting an Australian one." And I early on in my game journey, I pulled a lot of Australian women. My first pull ever, first cold approach pull, night game, was an Australian. She was like 12 years older than me, but she was Australian. And I love the accent and the humor. The banter is just fucking better. I think it's better than American banter. Mm-hmm. Like I like Mark because like sometimes I listen to his accent. I go, hey, that's cute, you know. Like that's
he couldn't find an Australian wife, so he found an Australian business partner.
It's harder to like hate Australian people because of the accent. You know what I mean? Like Mark could never annoy me because he puts on the Australian accent. You know what I mean? And like
mate.
Australian women are kind of bitchy. They got attitude, but it's like, I think it's bearable because of the accent personally, and maybe it's different for you because you're used to the accent. But there's a lot of hot Australian women, and they have like a lot of them have particular body types. They're kind of like, I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed there's a lot of like shorts with like big booty, like fat, you know, jelly booty, but like a little bit of slimmer waist and sometimes big ass titties. So I don't know. A lot of the Australian women I've had incredible bodies. I don't know. I really enjoyed fucking them. And
straight up,
I don't know. Like, man, it's tough because I love Australian women. I would love to marry an Australian woman, but it's like too liberal. I don't know. It's like too extreme. And I didn't realize how extremely liberal they are until, you know, I went to Australia. And I'm like, oh man, fuck! I can't marry them. It's too much, and it's kind of fucked up because I'm an atheist. I'm not even a Christian or anything, you know. Like I'm kind of actually my lifestyle is very liberal. But when it comes to like settling down, you know, I'm kind of, you know, like women like get to a certain age and they're like, I'm a born again Christian. I'm a good girl now.
So if there's a good guy now,
like, yeah, when I get married, I'm like all of a sudden a good boy, like conservative.
Exactly. It's wear a cross around your neck. I think Australians are awesome, man. Super attitude, maybe like borderline bratty. But I mean, I love that. Like, I love to have that banter and sarcasm. and that back and forth. And I find it so interesting. Like to me,
Fun.
yeah,
Australian
like
women are-
fun. It's just
Australians are
fun,
fun,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, fun. And as you said, like if you go to the right areas of Australia, these girls are actually really fit and good looking, because Australia has, like, again, high obesity rates similar to America, but like within the like city areas or like the beach areas where I live at the moment, everyone is just like fitness lifestyle. Like if I walk out on the street here, like most of the girls are in gym wear and shit. So look, I want to put it S tier. Okay. How are you feeling?
Look, if this was, and maybe we'll do this. I'm making a video about wife material countries. Which, by the way, like you may look at this and you go, "Well, hold on, David. You said like Australian girls are like S tier, and then in the wife material one, they're D. That's a little bit different again. Okay, your wife, the mother of your kids. I'm gonna have like very different preferences. It doesn't mean I don't love Australian women. You know what I mean? So like for this one, I think we have to rate it pretty high. I'm okay. Like, I don't know. I just love Australian women. Like I could put it in S tier, but I'm sorry. My wife material thing is going to be like C maybe.
Yeah, fair. All right. This is now it's your turn. Central Asian. So this is, I've got a little bit of, so these are the stands, right? So Kyrgyzstan,
Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. I think maybe like, I don't know if Tajikistan is in there. But man, I love Central Asian women. Again, I'm not like particularly into Asian women. I didn't go to Asia until, like I was like 30 or something. But I was never into Asian women. But Central Asian women are different. They're very different. I never thought I would even marry an Asian. I was like very against that. But they have so many other qualities that align with what I want in a woman. And like Kazakhstan, if you like a little bit more liberal, so if you don't want to like too liberal, but you want a little bit more liberal, Kazakhstan is a good place to go. A lot more advanced country. Women are taller. They have a little bit more of a Russian look than the other Central Asian countries. And like when we go out and I game, all the Central Asians are what? Kazakhs. You know what I mean? You can pull gangbangs with Kazakh girls, But if you want a very conservative, traditional, quiet, like that polarity, like masculine and feminine, I've never seen it more polarized in any country in my entire fucking life than when I went to Kyrgyzstan. I was there for a few months, and it's like I felt like I entered another world, and I've traveled my entire life. Okay, 21 years nonstop traveling, and it's hyper masculine. Like the men are like high T as fuck. Okay. You feel like you're in like a animal kingdom almost, where there's like a hierarchy constantly happening, and they're trying to like socially dominate you, and they're always trying to find the hierarchy. And I saw that even within the other Kyrgyz men, even when I was in the mountains, the mountain people had a hierarchy, and you could see it in play. Like the leader comes up, they shake his hand, and there's like respect, and there's a hierarchy and like roles. It's very interesting. Like you don't really see that so much in America or Australia. But if you want to be a very masculine man who's very assertive, who make all the fucking decisions, and you want a super feminine woman who's doesn't understand anything to do with feminism or liberalism, it doesn't exist except for in movies, who cooks, cleans, who does what you want, you can't go wrong with Kyrgyzstan.
Where would you? I think you want to put this S, right?
Yes, tier. Yeah, absolutely. And they have like very unique looking faces. It's very different than the other Asian countries, like generic Chinese, or Korean.
Yeah,
or Japanese.
100%. It's got like it's that mix with Russian. It's still like these aren't my type. I would say looks wise, and it's not my type. Again, I would say like personality wise, I think I really shift to I personally like the extroverted girls, right? So you're just not really gonna find too much of that in these countries. So for me, this would be like, honestly, this would be like a B for me. But we'll sit up here because I know that's your.
I know this is like a preference thing. Like even I've talked to students that love Central Asian women. The others like more like Australian American. No, I've been back and forth like over the years. Like, do I like very extroverted, like much more outgoing, fun girls? You know, a little bit more strong, independent, or whatever. And I realized I had in my rotation a few years ago a mix. Okay, so I had very extroverted women who talked a lot and different ranges, and then I had like the Central Asian or even some Ukrainians that were a lot more quiet and submissive and very feminine, and that wanted you to tell them what to do. Like, what are we doing? Lead, like, you fucking pussy. Like, tell me what to do now. I'll just do it, you know? And they just follow you around. And I found after having like 1 week or 1 day with one type and back and forth, I just enjoyed the peace and quiet of like the Central Asian, the Kyrgyz.
I think it probably goes back to like, I think it probably goes back to our personality types. Like, I think if you compare us, like, I mean, you'd agree with this, right? Like, I'm more extroverted, you're more on the introverted side. So like, I feel like I need to have, like, if I've got a goal around, I want to be doing something, I want to be chatting, I want to be, and so yeah, it probably points to that. Like, our personalities is wise, you know, we have the different preferences, but I think it's nice to have that mix, because I think students are going to have that mix too, so they can see like the different sides of that.
100%.
All right, what do you? Chinese, this is a D for me.
Chinese. The thing is, I've never been to China. Like, I love Chinese food. I've known Chinese people and Chinese women. I've never really cared about Chinese women at all, but I've had a few Chinese girls over the years in my rotation, and they were incredible. I've never had a bad experience with a Chinese girl. They were just really sweet, really nice. They kind of, you can't banter with them. Like, you try to banter with them, like, you try to joke with them, and you try to use like sarcasm, and they're like, huh? They take things literally, just like maybe a lot of Central Asian girls. Man, like my Kyrgyz girl, like I had to train her over years to understand like tone and nuance and like sarcasm and banter. Like, lately, like the past 6 months, she's starting to like tell like certain jokes.
But
like,
yeah, your girl, even at Tomorrowland, like, she's, like, obviously people don't know, she's probably one of the most feminine, submissive girls you'll ever meet in your entire life. But she was also like, she was pretty funny, like, in terms of you two interacting with each other. I don't know if she was meaning to be, but yeah, it was like a very, it felt like at least that she understood some of the humor and was like contributing to all of the jokes. So
Mark,
maybe you've trained her well.
That's called proper training. Okay.
There you go.
I always tell her, like, without me, you're just a completely different person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some other guy trains you, and it's like you experience reality in a different way. You know, one time, I don't know if I should. One time, she said something like, she's like, I feel like I'm in the Matrix or something. You know, like, you brought me into, like, I don't know. One time she said, I feel like I'm in the Matrix. You're like, you're creating this reality for me, you know. But you gotta train your girl. Like, a lot of these places, there's like some negatives maybe that you may not like, but guess what? With proper game and proper training, and women are very trainable. I know it doesn't, for a lot of guys, it doesn't seem like that, but women will. They'll change for you. Okay, like, they will change for you if they really like you. If you're very masculine, you know.
I just want to sound that, like, when Swifty's saying that, he's finding a goal that is awesome to begin with, and then adjusting certain things like the type of humor. He's not finding a goal that has like awful communication skills, is super narcissistic or something, and being like, oh, I can change her. I just want to make that clear, because some guys will end up with a girl, that they really like, that is just a mess, and they'll be like, oh, but maybe I can just change her. It's like, no, we're talking about like the fringe edges here, right? That's what we mean by change. Chinese, I mean, I don't find them attractive at all. I don't find their personalities, obviously there's a huge cultural and language barrier there for me. I also don't find them as like cute or some of the other Asian countries. So for me, this is a D. But if you, what are you thinking?
I think I just had a few great experiences, but I would not Yeah, it's
Yeah.
D for me.
Cool. Colombian.
Oh man, this is another tough one.
Yeah. This is one where I need to live through my students. This is Colombians usually, again, you need to be able to speak the language. I know a lot of students that go there and it's just really tough language barrier. And then those that speak the language absolutely kill it. Yeah, again, this is going to be like similar to, I guess, maybe my points that I said for like Brazilian kinda, where I mean, these just aren't my type physically. And then on like a personality level, again, I just like to be able to have that banter and communication. If they barely speak the language, I just can't do that. So for me, this is like a C, but if I live through my students, it's more maybe a B.
Well, I think it's a little bit overrated. I think guys found a really, really cheap place with really, really cheap cocaine. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think they're like hyping up Colombia and Colombian women a little bit too hard lately. And plus, like I've known a lot of guys who got drugged and robbed.
Yeah,
or stabbed.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I feel like 80% of the guys I know who went there got robbed at gunpoint. Like the women drugged them. It's just like,
or even
why would I wouldn't live there.
Dude, I feel bad because I always forget this guy's name. All I remember him is his red beard, which he goes by online. I do some streams with him playing. This is a guy that Casey, that's it. Thank you. This is a guy that he basically, it sounds like, built his career off, moved to Colombia, right? And even he now on these streams is like, it's fucking awful. Every single girl I speak to is a prostitute. You can't meet a girl unless you're willing to pay for all her shit. And then she wants more money after sex. And these girls, like, they're not good marriage material and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hang on, I thought that was the reason you went there. It's because you like were sick of American women and you were saying that like Colombian women were better marriage material. Now, obviously, that seems like a huge selection bias with like where he's going and the people he's meeting as well. But yeah, this whole idea that you just go to Colombia and these women like are fucking amazing and really easy, I think is a bit unrealistic sometimes, or it's not painting the full picture. I mean, as I said, I've had students that speak the language go there and absolutely kill it, and then I've had students that go there, don't speak the language, they find it a little bit difficult, and as you said, like they risk getting drugs and fucking shit stolen off them and whatever else goes on there. So yeah, for me, like again, I haven't actually traveled there myself, I'm just living through my students here. It'd be like a C for me, but I'd be happy to hear your opinion.
You know, I like different looks and different body types. So like, look, day to day, it could change. Like I like tiny, petite, like very small, 5 feet, cute. I like, sometimes I'm just in the mood for like that Colombian physique, you know, big booty. You know, I have a student that is with a Colombian girl. They've been together for, I don't know, a couple of years. And she's very different, but it feels, he says it's kind of, she has to learn to not behave in the way that she would normally behave with guys in Colombia. And that's kind of a battle back and forth. And he's very good at game. He knows how to set frames. To me, I don't know if it's worth it, but like, hey, there's a lot of hot Colombian girls.
Yeah, Barrett said here, it's better to find a Colombian woman who grew up in the US than to find one in Colombia. Yeah, 100%. Like all of these, I guess, girls or archetypes kind of change when they're living in America or like living in Australia or living somewhere else. That will like slightly change.
When they say in America, what they really mean is like Miami. Which is like, you know, I don't know if I would want a Colombian girl also in Miami. So I would have to, sorry, not wife material.
Czech.
Yeah. So Czech girls, you know, very pretty, you know, kind of similar to Polish girls a little bit, but a little bit more liberal. So like if you don't like some of the more conservative traditional white girls or Slavic girls, you want a little bit more liberal, like a little bit more Western European feel, like Czech girls would be like a good balance for that. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they're very pretty. You could have a little more liberal. You could have a little more conservative. You could choose. Now I don't know. Like I've never been like, oh, Czech girls, you know, like.
Yeah, I feel like they're just well rounded. Like I feel like they're not the hottest of the hot, but they're attractive. yeah, they're not like super like, oh, this is like the feminine submissive girl that, you know, I want for marriage or something. If that's what you're after. Like they're kind of like a, yeah, all rounder. Maybe how I think about
exactly.
it.
Like it's balanced all round, but you're not like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It's a Czech girl.
Like I think this is underrated in a sense. Like I want to put it as A, but honestly, like before this, I wouldn't even have thought about them.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I almost want to put it in A, maybe B. What are you thinking?
I mean, do we have some other good A's? I would maybe.
Let's put a B, and then if we want to bump it up,
American,
we can.
Belarusian. That's fair.
Yeah,
we'll do B.
Croatian. All right, I want to speak. So let's do Croatian / Serbian. I think they're very similar. We've been to both places. So, these girls are more my type. Okay, and so yeah, skinnier, tall, slender, which I like, and the humor. So this is a country or countries where there is a language barrier, but these girls are so quick-witted, so sarcastic, and it's very much in their culture to have that. So it's so refreshing going to a place in Europe where even though there's like a slight language barrier there, these girls are still challenging you, giving shit back and forth. You can tell them to fuck off and they'll smile and give you something back, as opposed to like a Scandinavian girl that's going to cry and, you know, try to call the police because you used a bad word or some shit. Like Croatian, Serbian women, and they do have like that more feminine conservative side. Now, there is a lot more competition, right? Serbian men and Croatian men are very dominant. They're like masculine, good looking dudes. So yeah, competition wise, you've got some.
Bro, I night gamed in
some
place outside the city in Serbia and Croatia. Man, like trying to like game the girls were difficult. The dudes were like fucking like, high tea. They were just coming in, taking the local girls away from. They're like, oh, you're not local. They would just take the girls away, and like the girls were like, okay, sorry, I'm this random like local guys telling me not to talk to you. Like it was almost impossible to get to any of these fucking girls outside of like the major cities. Now, so I love Serbian women in the top 5 for me. Period. There's like big titties, big ass, or you could get like very slim, kind of like Polish. There's all kinds of different looks or body types, and they could banter. They're funny.
Yeah, they can banter.
Serbian women kind of reminded me the banter I would have with like American women, and I was like very shocked by this because I thought it was gonna be more like Poland or some of these other like Eastern European countries, but Serbian women, amazing. I love Serbian. Croatian. Whoa. Okay, I remember walking around a mall in Croatia, and I would see a girl from the front, and I'd be like, okay, you know, it's like kind of like a Polish look maybe, and I would see them walk away. I would look back at their booties. Holy shit, bro! Like it's the greatest white girl booties of Europe. It's unfucking believable. I don't know what the fuck they're eating in Croatia. Okay, but you could have a very skinny, slim body, but the biggest, fattest, roundest ass I've ever seen. I've never like I dream about it sometimes. Like walking around Croatia and just looking back at booties, because in Poland you get flat ass. I found one girl in Warsaw with like skinny waist, very skinny but a big round booty. Is rare as fuck. Croatia, it's everywhere. They have I would say the number 1 top booties for white girls in Europe. Period. And I would go to Croatia and live there for a year just for the booty. Just for
the booty. Yeah, I'd go there for the mix of banter and looks. I think, Croatia, Serbia is awesome.
Everything is also good.
The only thing is, the competition. But I mean, I'm happy to put this S just for that.
Bro, oh no, don't go to Croatia.
Every month we're going to Croatia now. Yeah, it's funny. All right, Dominican.
Oh man, they fucking talk too much, loud. Man, the amount of times I was in a movie theater or in some like quiet like public space, and a bunch of Dominicans like come in and just ruin your piece. They're loud. They talk. I don't know. I don't like the look so much. There's some like very pretty Dominican women, of course. I just find them obnoxious, to be fair.
Yeah, I was going to put them in C. This almost sounds like a D for you.
I know there's gonna be some guys that disagree with this who have a lot of experience with Dominican women. Like there are some like very nice bodied, very pretty Dominican women. I just find them, they're probably, I don't know, guys who have more experience with it, probably more wife material than maybe the Colombian or the Brazilian. I just find them just slightly annoying.
That's fair. All right.
I would put them, these, like.
Is D too harsh? I'd sit him in C.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So guys who have like Dominican experience, can you make a comment about that?
Yeah,
Dutch.
Let us know what you think.
Man,
dude, I don't like the Dutch.
The personality.
The women, yeah, I feel like the women are too tall, too big. And I feel like the personality is so, it's, how do I describe this? Everything is like a battle, but not in a bantery way, right? Like the Australian girls and Croatian girls and stuff, they can banter and it's fun. Dutch girls will just get offended or angry at everything. And it doesn't come from this like sexy, like let's challenge each other. Let's have a bit of like fun here, back and forth, like dom sub type of angle. It's just annoying. And then also there's a lot of like sexual shame. There's a lot of like, it's not even I'm a good girl. It's like, I can't believe you insinuated that. Like it's, dude, I find it so annoying. I
it's funny that you said that. I had in the past some hot Dutch girls in my rotation.
Dude, and that's the thing I was going to say. I've met some. There was one girl I had in my rotation for like a year. There are some that were awesome. Like very good looking, because they it's almost like a low tier Scandinavian type of look. And some of them were really awesome and open-minded, but I've just had so many bad experiences that it just brings down those good ones, and it's all I can think about.
Even the Dutch girls in my rotation that were really hot, I had to get rid of. Like I got rid of every Dutch girl in my rotation because they were just fucking annoying. I don't know. Like it was like you said, it's like a weird battle. Like they love you and they're chasing, but they also make it unbearable. I don't know. It's a weird energy or tone that they use. I just like, for me, like Dutch is gonna be low. Yeah. C.
Yeah. Filipino.
Man, like, you know what ruins it? I was actually talking to my girl about this. She was asking me, like, she knows I'm not into Asian girls, So
yeah.
But we were talking about like Filipino, and she's like, "Would you get with a Filipino? Not fucking, but like, would you get with?" And I said, "Never. I would never do that." She's like, "Why? Why wouldn't you?" And I explained it like I would feel like I said, imagine there's like 50 million. I don't know, like 50 million Filipinos, and they all look the same pretty much, and they're all chasing desperately for you. And it's like you choose one, and you're like, okay, this is my wife. But then you go out walking around, and there's some old white guy with like your girl, essentially, like the twin.
I know what you think. Yeah, okay. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
You're walking down the street, and you see like 10 fat, ugly old men with literally like your wife. Like, and you could like walk up and be like, hey, you want to switch? And like there would be like really no difference between the girls that you swap, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like I feel DLV as fuck.
I feel you.
Now, do they cook and do they clean? Are they like really focused on family? Yeah, do you have to like pay money per month to their entire family? Sure. Is it like $200? Is that going to feed the whole family? Now, if you get a Filipino with like more Spanish blood, you get like a nice booty on the Filipina, very pretty. So like, there's a lot of beautiful Filipinas for sure, but it's like, I don't know, like it's so easy, and it feels DLV, and it's
just too easy for you.
Meek and like, yeah,
that's right. Out of all the, I think, Asian countries on this list, or regions, cultures, whatever we got on here, I think Filipino is my favorite. Now again,
Really?
I'm not attracted to like the Asian look, but you're right. There's a little bit of Spanish in there, which makes it, I guess, a little bit more enticing. But like the personality for me is the best. Like I've worked with, I worked as a nurse for like 5 years, right?
You never dated a Filipino, then you never dated a Filipino because
No.
if you dated a Filipino, you know how clingy. I like clingy. I like a little bit of, I like clinginess. Okay. I like a girl who's like clingy and like kind of needy, but kind of respects the space when I go, hey, you need to fucking go to your guest house and like leave me alone. Now, Filipinas are like next level, like just always trying to set frames in like in the most manipulative ways, and they're very good at it, but they're persistent as fuck, and they wear you down to get what they want.
The problem is,
and they're jealous.
It's hard for me to separate. Like some of my closest female friends were like Filipino when I was like working as a nurse back in the day. And these are just like the coolest, most fun, genuine, nice people I've ever met. So like, I feel like if you're asking me like, hey, I've got like this best friend guy who is looking to get married and wants to find someone. This is the thing. I'm doing the whole girl thing where I'm like, you should date her. Like, she's really nice. I wouldn't, but like, I think she's really nice for you. So like, I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm like biased here because as a whole friendship side of things, I just think these people were so awesome. They were super friendly, super nice, genuine.
100%. I love Filipinos.
You're right. I never dated one.
You know, I grew up in military bases. You know, my parents were military. And guess what? All the soldiers had what? Filipino wives. They went to the Philippines. They were stationed there. They brought them. And guess what? I would go next door. My best friends were like half Filipino. And the wives, all they did was cook and clean. I would go next door to my friend's place, and immediately she's like, you want lumpia? And they would feed you nonstop. So they're great people. The Filipinos are great. They're very friendly. They're very nice. They're very supportive, family oriented. I'm not saying anything against Filipinos. They're great. I'm just saying, do you want the Filipino woman?
Do you know what? If I had a friend that was like 70 years old, white and fat, then ST.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. Like if you go like, I'm gonna get a wife, just go to the Philippines, you'll get a wife and she'll cook and clean, and like, yeah, she's gonna be desperate and needy, and like you have to pay for her family, and like there's like certain aspects, but a lot of guys probably don't mind that. The problem is there's a lot of passport bros that go to the Philippines to get a wife. And what do you think ends up happening? They think just because she's Filipina, you don't have to actually do anything. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to fuck her well. You don't have to take good care of her. You don't have to be, game her, essentially. You don't have to game your girl anymore. You just, like, you're Filipino. You should do all these things. Nah, it's not going to work that way. They'll still divorce you and take all your fucking money and stay in the country. So there's a lot of challenges there. But, like, yeah, we'll put it...
C?
Yeah. If some guys wanted to put in B, I would be okay with it, but for me, it's a C.
All right, okay, French. This is going to be my ST. I don't know about you, but
C.
No, all right, let me convince you. Accent. The best accent in the fucking world. I'm sorry, my English not perfect, David. I try my best for you, you know. Like it is. Come on, it's sexy. Let's be honest.
It is sexy, but
it's really good. Yeah. And these girls, they have a sense of humor. All right, they're funny. They got some banter. True. Then on the sexual side, these girls are kinky, bro. Like. On average, these are the ones that are like, yes, I want to try this thing, or how about we do this, or they're dirty talking you during sex, or the best is when they start dirty talking you in French during sex. Like this is, come on, and good looking, like very cute women.
Like good, like cute, like they're not hot.
They're cute. They're super cute.
I wouldn't go to France to look for hot girls. Like it's just
but it's like they're sexy. That's the thing. It's like sexy.
I know. I remember a lot of your rotation girls were French. Like I remember a lot of French girls. They were like cute and nice and everything. Like I don't know. Like I feel like my brain just shuts off when I hear the French accent or they say they're from France. Like I just like even a night game, I'm just like, I don't want to pull this and walk away. I don't know. I'm just not into French girls.
Okay,
I'm high rate of like they have I think the highest rate in Europe, and when it comes to cheating.
I'm using my veto. Okay, I'm using my veto powers right now.
French wife will cheat on you. Okay.
Okay. But she'll do it in a very sexy way.
Exactly.
David, I'm so sorry. It is a mistake. I met other man and he came to me. I'm so sorry, David. Like that's if you're gonna get cheated on by a French girl. Jesus. Very.
I'm not videoing this one. So
all right, I've used my card. Is all I'm saying. Okay.
For me, C, but you could have S. It's no problem.
Okay, thank you. All right, you still have the card left. Georgian.
Yeah, Georgian. It's very traditional, very conservative.
Yeah,
they're very in touch with their culture. They still have a lot of their cultural traditions. And a lot of beautiful women. I was in Georgia, and the women are just beautiful, but not as hot as like Ukrainian girls. I would say they're a little bit more difficult because they really like more like Polish. A lot of Polish girls stick to Polish guys, but not to the extreme that Georgian girls stick to Georgian guys. Even like Central Asian, Kyrgyz girls, Uzbeks, they really stick to their own people. Like to the fuck. I remember when I was in Kyrgyzstan, the politicians tried to pass a law that wouldn't allow single women to leave the country because they didn't want other guys to marry the women. Like, and when I was in Kyrgyzstan, man, I was afraid for my life being with a Kyrgyz girl. When I was in Warsaw, this is very interesting. When I was in Warsaw, the Central Asian Uber drivers would give my girl in Russian shit for being with me in Poland. Okay, like, well, you couldn't find a man from your own country. They were from Kyrgyz, and I got into like some fights and arguments with the Uber drivers. So, like, you know, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get these girls in Georgia, but they're beautiful, conservative. Like, this is wife material level. So, I have to put it. I mean, A. Let's put an A. Like.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, because they're hot, they're wife material. I
find them like too. Yeah, I would have put a B. I found them too conservative, and their look is a little bit. You know, I'm racist. It's not wide enough for me. Okay, but yeah, let's put it in A. We'll even this up.
The Turkish.
Yeah, I don't like the Turkish look. Yeah, Greek. We have a lot of Greeks in Australia. There's a huge Greek population here,
and USA as well. I mean, some of my first sexual experiences were with Greek girls. I can't do the nose or the look. Like the nose is too big. The face is just ugly as fuck, in my opinion. And even I remember like I wanted to have a crush when I was like 16, 17 with a Greek girl because she was obsessed with me, but I just couldn't get past her face. She was pretty, but like I just could the facial features I could not get past. I just couldn't do it.
There's something a little bit like masculine about it. Yeah.
And how are the? I don't even know how the Greek girls like in relationships are anymore. Like back in the day, a little bit more traditional, but I think it's become quite liberal. But again, I avoid Greek girls because of the look, so I don't have a whole lot of new experience with them. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, like some in Australia, like I have friends that love Greek women here because some of them have really nice bodies. But
voluptuous, big ass titties. Nice booty.
German. Okay. I'll give you my experience with German girls.
Yeah.
I can't stand the like unexpressive face, right? Like it's we used to call it in Sydney German LMR, where like you'd have a girl that was like so into you, so down, is about to come home with you, and is just like flat, like yes, okay, all right. And it's like, we'll head back to mine. Yes. And it's like, oh man, like they speak good English, but it's just so boring. Like at least I feel like Polish and like Ukrainian girls and stuff, like they have an excuse. It's like there is a big language barrier there, or it does come with like a very feminine kind of trait. But this is like, they're not incredibly feminine or something, but yet they're still kind of boring and just a little bit analytical. So yeah, not.
You know what? I kind of disagree. There's a lot of like misunderstanding around German women or Germans in general. The thing is, I speak German. I lived in Austria. I lived in Germany. My first girlfriend was German. I have a lot of experience with German women. Like if you speak the language, you understand the personality and where they're coming from. They say things that are actually funny, but they'd say it in a serious
zero expression. Yeah,
zero expression, and people will take that very seriously, or they will be offended by the things that they say. And there was like I had to get used to that when I was 18. I was offended, and I was this and that, and but I find Germans actually kind of funny. Like if you understand them, German women are pretty funny. But holy shit, bro! Like you know how they talk about how like the Nazis, Hitler, like organized everything. Like everything was documented, like down to like every Jew that was killed and how they were killed, and like everything was documented. Man, German women are like incredibly organized. Everything has to be by the books, by the rules. There's a process, like, and it's very masculine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember walking in. I lived with a German girl for some years. I remember walking to the closet. I go, "What the fuck is this?" I never went inside the closet before, and there was just files. I don't know. There was like files and files of paperwork and different things. I go, "What the fuck is this?" She had documented like everything over the past 3 years. And I don't know, it was just like, there was a lot of pressure to like live up to that structure that they need. I think it was a little bit too masculine, a little bit too much. I don't know. I think German girls are like misunderstood. They're a little bit funnier than guys think. There's some beautiful ones, and I'm half German. I got to represent for.
You gotta represent. All right. Well, I'm putting me in B. Did you want to switch that?
Yeah, I think B is fine. I think B is fine. I think if you speak German and you understand their culture and their personality and their humor, it's a lot better. I find like German guys to be actually hilarious in German. Like when they try to be funny in English, it's like cringe as fuck. In German, they're hilarious.
Okay, all right, I'll believe it.
Ugly. I'm in the Philippines. I don't know. Well,
and also like that's maybe something we didn't mention for like these places like Poland is it also shifts their perception of different cultures too. So like weirdly enough, like being an Indian guy isn't really that bad in Poland, for example. Like in America, obviously it's a big stereotype. It's like, ooh, Indian guy, it's all the negative stereotypes and all of that bullshit. But like you go to Poland and you're suddenly like, oh, you're like the yogic Kama Sutra guy, right? You're the
same thing for Russia. Like the amount of like Russian girls that I've known that dated or are married to Indian guys. Like, they go to vacation in India. And I think like there's a lot of Ukrainian girls with Indian guys. You know what I think it is? I think they misinterpret the Indian like creepiness. How should we call it?
Persistence
as dominance. I think they see that and they go, "Oh, this is like a very assertive, dominant guy," and they don't know the stereotype quite well. Maybe I don't know. I think that's probably true. Okay.
Hungarian. So I feel like my perception of this has kind of shifted again over the years. Like we've done a lot of boot camps in Hungary over the last 10 years. And I feel like at first I found them, they just seemed miserable, like unhappy, miserable, just fucking hated everyone around them. And this wasn't just the like women that we were like having sex with and dating and meeting. This was the store clerk as well. Like you'd go to buy a Red Bull and you're like, hey, how you going? They just take it, put the thing in. They're like $2 or whatever it is. You're like, okay, and you just pay. And you're like, have a good night. They're like, get out of the fuck out of here, right? Like,
or they tell you how horrible their life is.
Yeah. How are things going? It's so bad. It's miserable. Like, blah, blah. It's such a negative fucking vibe. Oh my god, from that fucking
I pulled
place.
3 Hungarian girls in a row, and like during the sex talk was essentially them like talking about how like life is suffering. That's the vibe.
Like Hungary used to be so strong and good, and now like it's weak, and Europe this and Europe. It's like fuck.
It's a cultural thing. I looked into this. There's a word for it in Hungary where you don't talk about the positives. You only hyper focus on the negatives. It's a very emo culture.
Emo of Europe.
You know what? I was shocked because when the last couple times I went back to Hungary, a lot more positive. Like, people were like, I thought they were like smiling and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'm like, where the fuck am
what
I?
happened?
Women were happier, and you could tell around the city, like Budapest has like progressed a lot more. Like they're doing a lot better in Budapest. Like I remember I went to Hungary 21 years ago, and I thought, man, this is a third world fucking country when I was there 21 years ago. And now they're growing, and I think people are just overall happier and just doing much better than before. But you know what? Like, if you could get over a little bit of the emo vibe, this is kind of one of those things where you could kind of train them out of that, I think. By the way, I know one guy who's been with a Hungarian girl for a while, and he's become depressed because she's always depressed, you know what I mean? So like if you're not strong enough, okay, you don't have a strong frame, you're going to be a depressed Hungarian as well. However, Hungarian girls, they got nice booties,
Dude, and they've got a very like sexy vibe. And again, this might not be for everyone, but like a lot of them will have even like that tattoo look, or like they'll almost have like that stripper vibe sometimes. Like there's a bit of a mix there. And so some of the girls, like if you're talking for like casual fun, especially like Budapest, for example, is just a very like fun city to be in. Yeah, you can meet a lot of girls that are just like fucking sexy, you know what I mean? They just got that fucking look. And they seem a lot happier than they were before. And then you can meet the ones that are a little bit more maybe out of the city, a bit more conservative and a bit more like good girl. Looks wise, they're not as good as obviously like Poland or Ukraine or Russia or things like this. But yeah, so for me, this is like a or B kind of situation.
It's A or B. I mean, come on. I think Hungarian has got to be. Is it better than German, Czech, American, Belarusian?
Yeah, no, I think it can go there.
We could put it on there.
Yeah. Indian. So for me, this is
D for you.
Yeah, this is D for me. Although I've met some. Yeah, I've had some like fun times. Okay, I've had some fun times. But yeah, for me, it's gonna be similar to British Chinese. I'm gonna put this a D. But I feel this is different for you.
This is I have like a look. I've been told by a lot of Indians that I was an Indian in a past life. Okay, all right, so like there's a hate-love relationship with the Indian guys. I love Indians. I love watching them get hit by trains. So there's like a love-hate sort of thing there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like if we could, I don't know, maybe I'm going too far, but like, do we need India? Could we like, just kind of like, if we could like get rid of one country, it might be Indian, but then it's like, fuck man, I'm going to miss my Indian guys, a little bit. However, when it comes to women, this is what we're talking about. I've had only amazing experiences with Indian girls. Like I've had very hot, fuck Miss Hyderabadi of 2000, whatever. And all the Indian girls I've had were very hot. They were very sweet, but I could tell that they wanted to instinctively nag a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there's
the nag vibe. Yeah.
And,
Yes, the man vibe.
I'm like, you know what? I could see that these girls are used to Indian men where you have to be like, rah, 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 do this, do that. You know, you have to combat. Like, you know, we have to combat like a lot of Indian guys, you know, their nature is like, hey, fucking behave. Like Indian girls have to deal with Indian guys too. And it takes a little bit of time to go, hey, I'm not Indian. It's okay. Like, relax. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take care of you. I know what I'm doing. Like, don't worry. And once they kind of understand that, they're incredible. And guess what? There's a lot of ugly, fat Indian women in the world. But when they are beautiful, when they're hot, I find them absolutely gorgeous. Like if you get a 10 out of 10 Indian girl, they're just uniquely beautiful. I don't know. It's not my like type, my main type, obviously, but it's hard for me to completely knock Indian girls.
I will back you up there. I'd say I've only been with a few, and like 99.9% I'm just unattracted to. But then those few, you're right. Like there was just, again, I go back to the sexy vibe really gets me, I think, now that we're going through this. But yeah, like this is still deep for me.
There's like a slight brattiness to them.
Yeah. But that naggy, that as soon as you mentioned that, I was like, yeah, I fucking can't stand that. Like I get this a lot with like the friend cock blocks. Like if you have a friend Indian girl that is like cock blocking, that's like one of the most annoying fucking cock blocks in the world.
You know, and
probably
the
increases
a lot
my
of guys have
disdain.
issues with the accent, and I have to say, the accent didn't bother me one bit unless they were nagging. When they were like, bah, 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 it's like, oh fuck, that accent is just driving me fucking crazy. But like, just when they were like very soft spoken and talking to you, the accent didn't really bother me so much. Like you're gonna put it at D. I personally, I have to put it above British and African. So like for me, I'm putting it like, man, like I can't put it with Colombian girls. It's like
how about we bring it to the front of D? Does that make you feel better?
We'll put it in front of D or at the end of C, sort of thing. Okay. Like I don't want to like completely knock the Indian girls because they have a lot to deal with the Indian guys.
we can do a pity.
Can you imagine? Like I'm just. You know, I watch reels with my girl at night, and it's like educational stuff. Okay, there's a lot of educational reels I could teach her about. Oh, look at this, you know. And it's like, can you imagine being an Indian wife with kids, knowing that your husband may get like run over by a train, like any day now? Like the amount of times that Indians get run over by trains, or
you
like,
watch too many reels.
No. It's very common actually. Like I've seen Indians like throw rocks at trains like it's like a predator or something. It's just it must be tough for a woman not knowing if your husband's gonna get electrocuted or hit by a train. So they have it tough. So respect.
That's true. Actually, I did watch a documentary about I thought this was India, but it might be somewhere else, where their husbands were getting like eaten by tigers, and like that was the biggest concern. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Iranian.
By the way, Marak said watching reels and this is educational stuff and say what I mean is there are lessons to learn from a lot of the reels that pop up. So like a woman like complaining about X, Y, and Z or do whatever it is, like she's complaining about men. I could say, honey, you see this? You see how unhappy she is? You know what I mean? Like this could be like very educational, as in I could set frames using some of the reels, right?
Let's go Iranian.
Oh, I love Iranian women. Love you. I fucking do not. If you're gonna listen, no, wait.
Middle Eastern.
No. They're not Middle Eastern. What are you talking about? See, wait a second. This is gonna piss me off. Okay, they're Persian. Number one, they're not Middle Eastern. They're not Arabic. No. If you don't think Persian women are absolutely beautiful, you're gay. Have you seen Persian women? They are fucking gorgeous. They're one of the most beautiful women in the fucking world. And their accent is beautiful. Their language is beautiful. It's like French, but it's like French of, you know, that region. The way they speak, the way they sound, the look.
I can agree with you, but it's just like, you got to remember, I'm I'm like a white Swedish girl type of guy.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
but they're not like dark like you think. I know you hate dark stuff, but like they're not like I think you're confusing them with like, I don't know, some like fucking, I don't know, like some other part.
No, it's like it's like Lebanese. Maybe I guess kind of Turkish, but it's
it's not. No. It's not like Turkish. Listen, if I go through my life, if there's an AI system that could view all the women I've ever seen in my life, Iranian women might be the most beautiful women I have ever seen in my entire life.
We just have a different type. I don't know what to tell you.
You can't. No, this is gay. No. I'm sorry. I'm going to stand on this. No. This is like
yes.
You can't. It's gay. I think it's gay if you think that Persian women are not absolutely beautiful. I think it's ridiculous.
No. I agree with you. They're beautiful. It's not my type.
But that's like saying like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen is not your type. I don't know. It's hard. Like something so beautiful has to be also your type. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like
find me an image of the most beautiful Iranian.
Oh, so you
okay?
Did I?
And then find me an image of the most beautiful Swedish woman, and I'm just going to say like the Swedish girl is more attractive, right?
I think. Oh, I love white blonde. Like I fucking love blonde white girls. But if you have top of the top Persian beauty, it does not compete.
I feel you. Like if they've got those eyes, like those piercing eyes and stuff, and they've got the dark features, like 100%, it's attractive. It's just not. It's like same with Brazilian. Like that, there are some fucking amazingly beautiful. It's just like I can appreciate the beauty. It's just like not my type.
Also, the good thing is there's a lot of very liberal Iranian women as well. So you could get the more liberal side, which that's the majority of the Iranian women are a little bit more liberal than you imagine. I think if I could go to Iran, if like there was a war in Iran, I would be in Iran. Okay, just like 1 month out of the year at least. Now, someone wrote. If you hate Indian men, then should they not take your boot camp? No, this is wrong. You should, because I don't hate Indian men, by the way. I never said I hated Indian men. So let's get that corrected. I have like a lot of Indian students and I'm a little bit mean to them, but I push them hard and they all know that I actually do care. And I do want them to improve, to better themselves, and to get results. And the reason why...
Listen, I don't know how to say this. Swift is part Indian. I don't know how to tell you this. He's known as Guru in the group, okay? Swift is half Indian, but what comes with that is some banter and some hate, okay? Yeah. So, if you can't deal with that, that's fine.
Hey, you guys need to be pushed. Okay, like you need to be punished a little bit. Okay, like you need that a bit. And look,
you said you'd be okay with India gone.
Listen, what I mean is like if I had to choose a country like we could get rid of. You know what I mean? Like I didn't say I want to do that necessarily. I'm not saying I would choose India. I would say it would be in the options.
It would be the options. French was ST because of accent, and Wolf pulled his card to an ST. Yes, that's correct.
And by the way, look, I'm going to get a lot of backlash on this. I have to like address this. There's no other coach that gets Indian men results like I do, period. It doesn't exist. I have other coaches send me Indian students because they don't want to deal with them. All right. I have students that went from 0 or 1 lay count and they're at 300 or 400 lays right now. I have a call right after this with an Indian, okay, that I'm doing a 5-year coaching with, who's at 500 lays right now. He was trying to get married to a beautiful white woman. So that's fucked up. Look, whoever that guy, Indian coaching, by the way. Caliber Enemy, just hit me up for coaching. We'll fix you up, okay?
So Iranian, do you want this ST? I'm not putting it ST. So this might be a veto if you want to.
No. I think A tier.
Okay. Japanese, they're cute and like funny, but like I find them funny. But this is like D for me.
They're creepy. They're very indirect. I can't
The
stand
sex is awkward. The sex is very much like starfishy and weird. Yeah, I don't know.
The Japanese girls I pulled, it was just awkward to escalate on. It was just creepy as shit. I don't know. They're just very indirect. Like they can't be open and honest with you because they don't want to, like, I guess, provoke something or have an argument. I don't know. Like there's a lot of guys who like Japanese, and I'm sure that if you understand Japanese culture and you speak some Japanese, it works out well for you. Personally, I don't like Japanese girls, and the look is not like particularly like beautiful. They can be cute in a creepy way.
Swift, I sent you an email for coaching before, but you didn't get back to me. Unlucky.
I'm sorry.
You need to be persistent.
Yeah, just hit me up somewhere. We'll figure it
out. As an Indian, Swift is my original mentor. I went from a virgin to 280 like out and becoming an online dating coach. There you go.
Yeah. Most of my students are like Indians right now. So you could hate me all you want, but if you want good white pussy or any pussy, you're going to get coaching from me if you're an Indian man. Indonesian. Okay, I'm in Indonesia right now. Okay, there's positive and negatives. It's kind of a little bit similar to the Filipino thing, where it's just like unlimited. You know, you just get whatever you want in Indonesia. But they have like their facial structures are very cute, and I like super cute. I just like anything that's cute. Okay, like the Kyrgyz, I like the big cheeks because they look like little chipmunks with like nuts in their mouth. Like I like that. So I like very soft, feminine features, very cute features. I like how small they are. Like I had a few girls that were like 4'7" and like they weigh like 80 pounds and like completely destroyed them. I like that. And guess what? I find them funnier, more humorous than a lot of the other Asians.
100%. They're like fun, cute, funny. Smiley, yeah. Just such a positive attitude, similar to Filipino. I feel like just such a positive attitude. This is opposite to Hungarian, where it's like their life could be shit. Like I remember we were there during COVID, like when COVID first started, and this meant like people that their livelihoods were fucked. Like they relied on tourism, and now they have no money, no income. They're literally like fishing to eat, and still like just positive attitudes, like friendly, fun. Just such a nice environment to be around. But like the look as well, I'm just not attracted to it. So.
I watched a video on there's like a facial structure expert or whatever, like scientifically defining or determining like who has the most beautiful faces. And Indonesian girls were up there in the top of the list with the feminine, soft features, like the lips and everything, and they're incredibly cute. Like some of these Balinese girls, they just have a natural fucking beauty. Like they're incredibly beautiful. And other parts of Indonesia, they're like not so pretty. So like, man, like if you want a girl that's like smiley and positive and sweet and small, cute, feminine, you can get some beautiful girls. You can't go wrong with the Indonesian women. Now some of the negatives, they're like extra jealous.
Oh yeah, they get a bit crazy sometimes.
They get crazy with the jealousy. And they're like hyper focused a little bit too much on money. Like if you're a white guy, you're automatically rich. And like I don't know, like even some of my Go Czech drivers, they're like, "Did you tip? Did you tip?" Like I had a guy like I was standing outside, like, "Can you check me to make sure that you did tip?" They're like really nice and everything, but obsessed with like money. I don't know. And I've had some Indonesian girls, and they were like, I had fun with them, but I would not marry them. That's for sure. I didn't get the tipping thing as much. Maybe you look like a big wealthy white guy. All my Gojek drivers and stuff like rarely ever ask for tips and shit. Like they seem really chill. Maybe you know what I think it is? One Gojek driver told me it's because all the Russians that came in here who keep telling them that I'm going to tip and they don't tip. So I think they're traumatized by Russians.
Okay, fair. Yeah, you happy with C? Oh, my camera cut out.
C,
It's probably overheated.
man, I can't. I cannot put Indonesian and like Dutch, Filipino, Dominican, Greek in the same level. Like I would have to put Indonesian above these groups.
Yeah, I mean, I'd put a C, but I'm happy with B.
I would put them below like Belarusian, American, Czech, and Hungarian, but like a low in B, but above some of the ones in C.
Let me know what you think about Lebanese. I'm just going to fix my camera.
Yep. Yeah, Lebanese. I don't have a shit ton of experience with Lebanese girls. I've never been to Lebanon. But they're beautiful. There's a lot of like liberal Lebanese. There's a lot of more conservative Lebanese. Seems to be a good mix. Man, they're pretty.
Yeah, there's a lot of in Sydney. A lot of my friends were Lebanese growing up, but this was like obviously born in Australia, most of them, or born in Lebanon and then came over when they were young. And obviously, I can't speak to Lebanese people in Lebanon. I haven't been there, but I've met a lot of Lebanese in Sydney. And yeah, to me, it's too much of this like masculine kind of vibe. They're very like strong women, still has that like slightly more conservative vibe, right? Like their parents are very strict. They're usually Catholic here, but still this, I'm trying to find the words to describe this. Still this more like independent, strong kind of like masculine feel to it. And again, like the look, the dark features and stuff just isn't for me. But yeah, even when I think about the way they speak here in Sydney, it's like, I'll try to imitate it. Like, I like the French is very like soft and feminine, whereas a Lebanese girl speaking to you would be like, "Hey, so how was your weekend?" And it feels like a dude speaking to me for the most part. So, yeah, Lebanese, I'd probably sit here in like C for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have enough experience with Lebanese women.
Marek said Lebanese is top tier for me. Fair.
I know a lot of guys.
Mark, what do you think of the Western Sydney? Yeah, so I grew up in Western Sydney, so whoever asked that question, I think is maybe from Sydney and understands it, the culture here. But yeah, like it's a lot of the Lebanese are where I grew up, and yeah, not attracted to me. All right, Italian.
Yeah, so someone said that I'm German. I'm not full German. My dad's side is from Sicily. I used to live in Sicily. My mom's side is German, so I'm half German, half Italian. But I got like most of the German genetics. But I lived in Italy, and I lived in Italy even before the Euro, before the EU existed. So I spent a lot of time in Italy with Italian women. And my grandma, rest in peace, she told me I had to marry an Italian woman. So like, like back in the day, like my grandmother hated my mom because she was blonde, she wasn't Italian. So like back in the day, they try to like stick together. Italians stick with Italians. It's very strong culture. And I don't know, like the Italian women, when I was growing up, when I lived there, when I visited, they cooked a lot. They're very traditional, and they cook some good ass food, and they're very caring and very loving and like extroverted and social, very family orientated. And I went to some like 4 years ago. I visited a girl in Italy, but like a smaller town, like without internet and shit, like fucking AC. Like, man, she cooked and cleaned for me, and my experiences with the Italian women outside of the big cities was great. So you could get like super feminist liberal Italians in like certain parts of Italy, and then you go outside of the big cities and you're getting more traditional Italian women. And that's what I would recommend, because if you get the hyper liberal like Italian, it's just you're not getting the experience of all the positives that make Italian women so great, and you don't get that caring, loving aspect of the Italian woman. So I have to put Italian as A tier if you go away from the big cities.
Yeah, I don't even think you need to go away from the big cities for me. Like I like the kind of tanned Italian look. It's I think it's attractive. And then I agree that there's something about those family values, even though you might have this super loud, expressive like woman, it's still at the end of the day, like family is what comes first, which is, it's a very traditional trait. It's very nice to have in a long-term relationship. So yeah, there's strong family values mixed with very like charismatic, out there, very expressive woman that's also like, in my view, attractive. That's A tier for me. There's a lot of Italians in Sydney, like second generation Italians. And then I've spent some time in Italy as well. Yeah, I think Italian women A tier for sure. Mexico, Mexicans.
Oh man, I dated a lot. I used to live in South Texas, so like near the border of Mexico. So I grew up around Mexicans, and at one point, all my friends barely spoke English, so I dated a lot of Mexican women. Man, I don't know. It's so mixed. They're very family orientated, which is amazing. I would say they seem to be the most family orientated people when I was growing up, the Mexicans. I don't know, like my Mexican neighbors always had like 80 family members over for like family events like 5 times a fucking week. So that's really nice. That is nice. The problem is a lot of Mexican women have weird shaped bodies. When I was in Mexico, I was looking around. I'm like, I couldn't have cold approach anything. Like half the time, I could not cold approach anything because the women were just like, ugh, kind of gross. The obesity is through the fucking roof. Man, I don't know. I think this is kind of depends on like where you're getting your Mexican. You know, are you importing your Mexican from like Mexico City? Are you importing from like some small place in Mexico, some small village or town? Are they Americanized Mexican? I wouldn't want Americanized Mexican personally. I wouldn't want a big city Mexican. I'd probably go to some rural area to get a nice Mexican woman.
So I spent some time in Playa, Tulum, done some coaching there. Yeah, I don't think they're as attractive as like the Argentinian women or Brazilians. Right. But yeah, like otherwise, personality-wise, again, it's hard for me to say because there is a language barrier there. Now, not as strong as Brazilian or Argentinian, but there's slight language barrier there. So yeah, these girls can be like fun, family orientated, but to me, in terms of attractiveness, isn't really up there. In terms of feminine, sure, it's kind of there. So for me, this is probably like a C tier.
I think for me, the looks kind of ruins it. Yeah, because I could find some great. I could find great wife material in Mexico. Okay, if they were, they just look better. I don't know. They're just much better looking. I would have Mexican much higher. I really do like Mexicans. I think they're great people, but
Scandinavian for me, this is looks up there, 10 out of 10. That's it for me. Also, like personality wise, I like the very like progressive like view on sex. So these girls like super sexually open, which is fun. The thing I don't like about them is they can't fucking take a joke. Like one of the most annoying things is like talking to a Swedish girl and then just challenging her a little bit, having a little bit of banter, and then immediately offended. Immediately like, that's mean. Why did you say that?
You shouldn't say that. Like this is like you're reinforcing the patriarchal blah blah blah.
It's too much, man. And like even trying to like I'm just used to if we go out for drinks, I just buy the drinks. If we go to dinner, I'll buy the dinner, right? And I had girls before where like we've had sex the next morning, working up. I'm like, let's just go grab some brekkie. Go to get some breakfast, and then like she's wanting to pay and finding it like offensive that I've just paid, which I guess for some guys is nice. So it's good that she's trying to invest, but like I'm just not used to that. I like to just take control with things like that. So it's hard for me because I've had so many good experiences, especially casually. And it's just like 10 out of 10 hotness. But then it's hard to banter. They're not as like feminine. They're very like I don't want to use this word superficial, but they're more looks based in terms of attraction. So most women, like a Polish girl, if you're just a masculine dominant guy that's successful, she's going to rank that really, really high on her terms of attractiveness.
Ukrainian, Russian, as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Whereas like a Scandinavian girl, and maybe that's maybe less superficial, depends how you want to look at it, but like she sees a guy with a six pack and he's tall and handsome, she'll pick that over the guy that maybe is like more successful. So like they're a little bit more looks based. So I want to put this S tier, but I feel like I've talked myself out of it almost. But I feel like almost just in terms of looks, almost deserves an S tier for me.
Yeah, I've got a lot of experience with Scandinavian. I dated a girl from Finland for a few years. Like my last exclusive relationship was with a Finnish girl that I brought over from Finland. Man, they're different. They are different. They're very different. Like you said with the paying thing, I remember my Finnish girlfriend would not let me pay. She wouldn't let me pay rent. She wouldn't let me hold the door open for her. Like she was offended by that. Like, man, it was hard to like do all the things that I was just used to doing. And the problem is that there was the default was like, we could call it 50-50, but the default is really like 60-40. Like the Scandinavian woman is a little bit more in charge, let's say, or she has a little bit more power in the dynamic, right?
I'm sorry.
But look, I love Finnish women. I do like them. They're like kind of awkward, like socially awkward, but I kind of like that. I don't like Swedish girls' personality. Like honestly, like I'm trying to think of like the Swedish girls that I liked personally, like nothing to do with looks. I'm at 0. I've fucked a lot of Swedish women, a lot of Scandinavian women. Swedish women are a fucking 0. I would never wife them, no matter how hot they are. I would fuck them and probably not even add them to my rotation. That's how bad it is. They're annoying. They get offended by everything. It's just bad. They're great for they're fun one night stands. Like the amount of gangbangs we pulled with Swedish girls and everything. Like one night stand, casual, amazing. I just would not. The Finnish girls are a little bit different. I like Finnish girls, but again, I almost married a Finnish girl, and that would have been pretty fucking bad if I had followed through with that one. Man, I don't know. They're very open. That's for fucking sure. Like that was one of the most open fucking girls I've ever had was a Finnish girl. It's just, I don't know. It's not wife material. And personality wise, Swedish girls and Norwegian, however, the personality.
Yeah, Norwegian's better than
Norwegian personality is much better, but they're a little bit less open sexually than like the Swedish girls. I still wouldn't put them in wife material unless you go to like some small Norwegian town somewhere. But the looks are not as good as like Swedish girls. I don't know. Like if we're talking about like looks and like casual, this could be like A tier, almost S tier.
Oh, if we're talking about looks, I'm saying S tier.
But I'm talking about like casual as well. Like, yeah, looks, we're putting S tier. But like, if you combine it with, you have to actually spend a little bit of time with them sometimes and talk to them. I can't put that in S tier.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair. All right. What do you think about A tier then?
A tier.
I can't put a lower than A. Yeah.
If we're talking, by the way, wife material tier lists, they're not going in A or S. That's for fucking sure. All right, we're putting them over at fucking D.
And okay, I did separate. So let's just assume that's English, and then let's assume this is like Scottish Irish. I'd sit that there. South African, dude, I love South African women. So. I already see your look. So I spent, I don't know how long, we did a road trip there, but also I met a lot of them traveling. But dude, these girls are good looking, okay, in terms of what I prefer. So like these white girls, and some are fairly like curvaceous too. Then they're, in terms of banter, dude, they are right up there. And that's one of the things I really appreciate in a girl, right? But in terms of banter, I think it's better than Americans. It's like on par with Australians. I think it's amazing. So I'm saying like South Africans are probably like a B or an A to me. White or black South Africans? I'm talking about white South Africans.
I'm talking about both. Inclusive.
I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're hot. The white South Africans are hot. I don't know. I can't put them in A. Like I would put them in B.
All right, they're an A to me. Like to me, they're better than Americans. They're better than Germans. But that's okay. We'll leave it in B.
Maybe I might agree. They're better than Indonesians for sure. But I don't know. Like okay, they could be A, B. Like
they're on par with Brazilians. Okay. South Korean. I again don't have much experience with Asian women.
Mine is a little bit mixed. The problem is they typically don't like big, white, bearded guys. Right. Now, I have met some South Korean girls that was their thing. And yeah, they were like cool. They were nice. They're like better than Japanese girls. I don't know. Like I didn't feel like super motivated to like see them again or anything. And look, they could be very pretty. They could be cute. And I noticed, I don't know, maybe I just like talk to particular South Korean girls. They seem to be a lot more aware of like BDSM, have a more knowledge around BDSM, a little bit more open sexually, at least from my experience. But look, they have like a crazy beauty standard, and they like feminized, gay-looking dudes, and they're like obsessed with that. So, like for me, that's a DLV. Like immediately, like I don't know. And look, I think a lot of South Korean women try to stick with South Korean men because of the whole family.
I just had a picture of you as like a K-pop star, shaved beard, feminized. Doing like facial creams.
Very feminized fucking culture. Like
all right, what about Spanish women? So I've spent a bunch of time in Barcelona. I've traveled a little bit around Spain too. But what are your thoughts on Spanish women?
Yeah, I mean, some of my first day game pools were in Barcelona 21 years ago. They were hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I like the one girl I pulled in Barcelona was like the hottest girl that I've ever seen in my entire life in person. I think nowadays, again, we may disagree here, but they've become way too feminist and almost like that Swedish, like I'm offended by everything vibe. It kind of kills their personality quite a bit. Maybe if you go to some small town in Spain, but I've never been to a small town in Spain. Looks, yeah, they could be pretty hot. Personality, I think, is a little bit annoying, personally.
Yeah, it's almost they've got a little bit of the which was the nagging one? Oh, the Indian. They've got a little bit of that Indian nag, but like otherwise, these girls, yeah, they're very attractive. They've got a little bit of the like Brazilian passion. They are pretty party, open-minded, and the English is typically better. So I would sit this maybe like B tier.
Yeah, and I noticed that the nagging, the kind of negative banter, but 21 years ago it was bearable. But now they kind of wrap it in like I'm offended by like you now you're bantering the wrong thing, and now I'm offended. And it's like, oh, come on. Like 21 years ago it would have been better. You could say anything and banter and they wouldn't get offended, but now they add a little bit of offense to their negative banter, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I guess I haven't been. We haven't coached that for a couple of years, but yeah, before it felt more of the passiony stuff. But if that's changed, it's not good. So let's go to Turkish.
Oh,
this is annoying for me because on general, this is like probably on a C tier for me. But I've had so many good experiences with Turkish girls. So I'm trying to take it on the average and not just use like the ones I've been with. So like on the average, this is going to be similar to like for me as a C tier type of thing. But yeah, the winning thing is I've met so many cool Turkish girls.
I can't let you put it on C. I can't do that.
Okay. We'll put it.
But look, again, it's going to be mixed. There are different kinds of fucking Turkish girls, or like super fucking liberal Turkish girls, very sensual, very sexual, and there's going to be the opposite of that. Man, every experience I've ever had with a Turkish girl was amazing. Also, I get approached by Turkish women more than any other ethnicity. More so, Turkish girls will come up to me and start speaking Turkish to me. They think I'm Turkish, and I never understood it. I'm like, I don't know fucking Turkish. What the fuck, you know what I mean? But Turkish girls, I remember in boot camp one time I was talking to the students in the mall, and the Turkish girl just approached me and started talking to me. It's like, can you show me where Zara? Can you come with me? And the students were like, oh my god, how'd you do that? You know, what was the secret? And I'm like, I don't know. Turkish girls just approached me.
Yeah, they do. They like a very dominant guy.
They like not just dominant, like they like a little bit arrogant. They want to see that you're a little bit cocky. I don't know, like there are hot Turkish girls and they're very open sexually. You know, they have like some of the highest. I think Turkish women have like the most number of sexual partners in the world, or like in the top 5. I don't know. Like I like personally, I would probably put it in A because of the respect that they show towards me. Okay. Look, if you're going to approach me at this rate, I'm going to have to show a little bit of respect for you. So I'm going to have to put you at A.
That's fair. All right. Well, I think I want it in B.
Yeah.
Let's see how we go with the rest of them. Oh, we only got 2 left. Ukrainian. We've got a lot of experience here. You've been to Ukraine. Lived in Poland for a while with a lot of Ukrainian immigrants. We got a lot of experience with this.
This is not well. I lived in Kiev, and let me tell you, I've never seen so many hot women in one place in my entire fucking life. It felt like heaven. Okay. And look, there's so few guys, and I was like, "Where are the fucking dudes? Why is it? There's model-looking women everywhere." And I looked it up, and like all the guys just died in wars in the past 200 years, and like famines, and you know what I mean? Or they're drunks, and they died, or they're like at home drinking. You know what I mean? Like, so like there are, and I hate to say it, but now there's even less like men. So like the ratio is even more lopsided. Because of that, Ukrainian women are hyper competitive. I've never seen, I don't know, like maybe Indonesian girls are hyper competitive, but Ukrainian women are hyper competitive. That's why they do up their makeup. They're hyper feminine. They actually behave and do things that men want in a woman because they need to get a really good guy or to get any guy. Because what are you going to do? Like in Ukraine, you're going to pick a drunk, a poor guy. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? There's very few guys and so many Ukrainian women. And bro, it's unbelievable. Like I was fucking like 2 or 3 girls every day in Kiev, and I got so tired of how hot they were. You know what I mean? They just look like models, and I was like, give me some big girls. You know what I mean? I'm like looking around for some fucking big girls just to switch it up a little bit because I'm just tired of how hot they were. And they're very confident. And I remember they would like lay in bed and show off their body. And they'd be like, look at this. I've been working on this. They just kept talking up their body. And number 2, they would cook and clean. Like right away. They would walk in. And I'm like, fuck date. Yeah. And they would start doing my dishes. I have a video. I sent you a video one time of a girl I pulled in day game. And the first thing she did was do my dishes, sit me down and make me tea. So Ukrainian women are top at the top, super feminine, super submissive. A lot of guys have problems with Ukrainian women, getting Ukrainian women. But you have to be incredibly assertive, incredibly dominant. And if you're very masculine, they're actually quite easy to pull, you know?
And I think going back to what you said before about like Polish girls is they're not gold diggers. Now, yes, you can find some in Dubai that are, but like on general, they're not. Like they have the traditional values. They expect you to pay for dinner, but that doesn't mean she expects a handbag after dinner or some shit. Like she expects you to pay for dinner, but as Swift said, she also expects that she's going to like clean up for you and make you a tea or whatever it might be. And then like you can also get a mix of like Ukrainian girls that travel So these are like maybe the ones in Bali that are a lot more entrepreneurial too. So even if you want the girl that is a little bit more like career orientated, you can still find Ukrainian women like that are incredibly good looking, that are incredibly feminine. At the same time, are like, yes, I've got this fashion brand that I'm building. So yeah, really, yeah.
I noticed that like most of the Ukrainian girls I've had were trying to start businesses, and like they're like starting up this brand and that brand. There's like a slight element of like like scammer vibes, it is Ukraine. It's a very corrupt, so there's like a little bit of the, like yeah, I'm starting a business, but I may kind of scammer vibes a little bit,
She's like, so my plan is that I'll let you sell some of this product to everyone else, and those people can sell product to everyone else, kind of like a pyramid. We'll get it set up like
exactly. There's I got a lot of business proposals from Ukrainian women. It's just kind of retarded. They're not the smartest group of girls, which I like that, but like I don't want my girl to be too smart, but
so that's where we're different. I like an intelligent girl.
Socially intelligent, but like that's it. Like I need her to be a little bit dumb.
You don't want to do like physics or something in the background.
Exactly. Like in the last like 3 years, I think I fucked out of all the nationalities Ukrainian the most out of all the girls in 3 years. They're great. I love Ukrainian women. I would marry a Ukrainian woman, but I found Central Asia and they're just even more wife material. Yeah, can't go wrong. But look, hey, fucking like low T beta simps are not going to do well with Ukrainian women. And guess what? You're going to go on 5 or 6 dates and still not fuck. So
yeah, that's the problem. Like Ukrainian women are really easy to get like a small level of compliance from, but then it's hard to convert. So like a lot of guys might meet a Ukrainian girl or even like swipe her on Tinder, and she'll maybe respond and even agree to a dinner date. But then it's like they just struggle to get anything from there. So yeah, you need to have that like dominant masculine energy, that like what we teach is like sexual authority. If you have that, it becomes easy. But without it, it's an uphill battle. And then Vietnamese, again, I don't have much experience with Asian women. I'll just sit dear unless you have anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Viet Cong and USA, a lot of Vietnam people, great people. The women are a little bit more family orientated, let's say. It's not as like whorish like Thailand. No, but I like the Vietnam girls are a little bit cuter than some of the other Asian countries. I don't know, like they're fine. They're cute. I mean, look, if you're going to look for a wife, I'd rather have a Vietnam wife than a Thai wife or a Japanese wife.
Fair. Awesome, guys. I hope you enjoyed our very racist, discriminatory tier list of our preferences.
Yeah, by the way, like, if it was up to me, I would have more of the black nationalities. I think the girls from Zimbabwe. I don't know. Like I had girls from Zimbabwe; they were great. I've had some like Nigerian girls that were pretty cool. I don't know what else, but there's some.
I'm sorry. I'm just a white boy over here. I'm sorry about that.
What I'm trying to say is like I'm very inclusive and I'm not racist like Mark.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I am when it comes to my preference in women. Okay, I am racist. It's so funny. I heard someone talk about this where it might have been on a podcast where they asked that question, like, have you been with black girls before? It might have been Indian girls. And the guy was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I should answer that. It feels kind of strange. And he's like, have you been with any men before? And the guy's like, no, not at all. He's like, why do you not feel weird about saying like, yeah, I discriminate by sex. I love women. I'm never going to sleep with a man. But then suddenly like you mention race and it's like, oh, I shouldn't touch that. Like, yeah, I think it's okay to just be like, yeah, you know what? I don't like fucking blonde white girls or some shit. Or to say like, yeah, you know what? Like black girls, not my thing. So that's me defending myself from all the comments coming later about how racist I am. So I'm sorry about that, but that's the truth. I don't like black girls either. My man. They're nice, but I'm just attracted to them. Yeah, fair.
No, you know what I do like? I like I mean, I have a lot of experience with black American girls because I grew up in like I was like the only white boy for years in my neighborhood. So I fucked around with a lot of black women. I think they're some of the most fun girls to game.
True.
I don't know, like you could be like assertive and like fucking like I don't know, you could be a lot more direct and
they're the only girls I've ever met in my entire life where catcalling is an effective strategy.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you yell out like "damn girl," like that booty, wow, these girls will like smile, they'll laugh, they'll start shaking their booty at the I'm like, I watched that and I was like, what? This is when I was younger. I was like, what is going on? Like if you did that like literally anywhere else I've been in the world, you'd be like, stop being so creepy, you'd probably get slapped. These girls were like loving it. And dude, I remember, I won't say his name, we had a student that was from originally England, lived in America, and he loved black girls. Like that was his type, that was his thing. And he'd do so well with them. And it's like, you just have that attitude. They're just like cocky, just straight up, like your mind now go. And they just loved it. Like they ate it. It was really interesting to watch. So yeah, definitely fun to
game. I used to,
bro,
in St. Louis, I don't know if you guys know about St. Louis. It's worse than Compton because I saw some people like write Compton. East St. Louis is worse than fucking Compton. I used to travel across the Mississippi River to the East St. Louis where police don't even go. It's the highest like fucking murder rate. And I used to go there and go to a particular club. Okay, it's all black people. Okay, all black women. You would have to go through 2 metal detectors, and on the side of the wall, there's bullet holes. Okay, like is that bad? But bro, I loved it. I would walk in there. I would be the only white boy, and the women would be all over me. You know what I mean? Like if you have like arrogance and confidence, and you could be direct with black women, they fucking love it. Oh, white boy, you crazy? You know. It's so much fun. But you know, the black guys didn't really like it that much, and threatened to like shoot me a few times. You know, like I don't know. Like I was like, I'm a little now I'm older. Of like you know, I was not very cautious back in the day, and I was like, I was in like the fucking like bad parts of town, like fighting people. I had guns pulled on me. I was a little bit ridiculous. I think like moving to Europe made me a little bit more cautious or pussy, but. I don't know. There's other countries. There's like Russia. People ask about Russia. Again, like Russia is going to be AS in the middle between A and S. I have to put Ukrainian above Russia, Croatia above Russia, Central Asia above Russian. But I think it's like a lower S or in between A and S for me.
Yeah,
just because like the Russian girls, the Ukrainian girls can be a little bit more like, I don't know, like a little bit friendlier, let's say, a little bit nicer. They have less of that like Russian bitch face than Ukrainian. So 2 different countries. Yeah, they are different countries.
Yeah, it's like I feel Russia is in the middle between Belarusian and Ukrainian almost.
Oh shit, we got Belleville. We got someone from Belleville. Yeah, it's not too far away from. I know the club. Barrett. Yeah, Barrett's from St. Louis. He knows what I'm fucking. It's next to the strip club. I forgot what strip club it's called. But there's a strip club. There's 2 strip clubs, and then the club next to it. It's like yeah, people just get shot and die there, and like I don't know, they just sweep up the body. The police don't even go over there. But hey, it's good times. It's fun times.
Sure, fun times. Yeah, that gets you ready for game. It's like I'm not worried about AA. Okay, I'm worried about getting fucking shot. It's like you guys are worried about approaching. I'm worried about dying from something.
You know what? You know what place I was a little bit more afraid than East St. Louis to like game or to just be with women was Kyrgyzstan. Actually, like that.
Oh yeah, for real.
Because they do not like you. Like the amount of times like the Kyrgyz taxi drivers would ask my girl like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" Like, Jesus. Man. So like, I'm thinking about like buying some land there and putting a house, and it's like, yeah. I know I'm gonna be dealing with a lot of shit. I may die. So I got to learn Kyrgyz or like not Russian but Kyrgyz, so that I can like kind of relate a little bit and communicate because I don't want to die.
That's fair. Yeah,
but that's like high tea shit. That's like that's like high tea game. Like if you want the absolute best wife material, you got to work for it.
You got to risk death on a daily basis.
For this shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Straight up. Albania. Yeah, we didn't put a lot of countries. I've never been to Albania. They kind of stick together.
Yeah, there's a lot we didn't put. Like, there's New Zealand. It's similar. There's going to be similar to Australia. There's a bunch of places we didn't put. These are going to be the main ones. And then like some countries are just very similar to this. So I mean, we try to cover them. I'm not going to do fucking almost 200 things on here. So anyway, guys. Kincaid's Albania. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this week's tier list. Next week, Swift, should we do red flags in women?
We could do red flags. Yeah,
I think that'd be very cool. If anyone has red flags that you think would be interesting to go through, then just put them in the comments. Otherwise,
I had like sexual archetypes. I don't know how we're gonna rank that. I thought it'd be interesting to like talk about at least the different types of like roles and BDSM or sexual archetypes, because I noticed that a lot of dudes have no idea about the different sexual archetypes or roles in BDSM, but a lot of women do know. Like, I talk to guys, they have no idea. Women, they know a lot more about BDSM and different sexual roles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'd be cool to go through. Yeah, we had red flags. Sexual archetypes. Ones,
like, different other archetypes, like rave girls, the librarian.
I loved your losing aura with women tier list.
Yeah,
it's still in construction. That'd be cool. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of like maybe personal experiences with like students or something where they lost aura that we could stick in there. So I think we need to like sit down for a few minutes and just come up with some like really good losing aura.
What are you off in paragraph right now? Oh yeah, sorry, go.
It says wife material. I have a video I've been working on where I created a wife material like index ranking based off of my criteria, and it ranks all the countries, gives it points, and it ranks it. And then I'm going to put like my personal experience versus what the index says, and I'm going to make a video. We could make it a fucking like live stream as well instead of like a full video. Either one, I don't mind.
All right, happy days. Anything else? Guys, if anyone's interested in boot camps or coaching, then there's a link in the description there. You can book. That'll go to a call with myself, and we'll have a chat. If they're all booked out, just send me an email at marcus@ultimatemanproject.com, and we'll sort you guys out. And then whoever's not in the mastermind, I mean, at this stage, I'm not even going to say anything. You're just missing out. Like, Jesus Christ, it's super affordable for you guys. You get multiple coaching calls per week. You have access to the forums where you can ask questions and other guys can help you out. Access to a bunch of other wings. Access to course materials. So we have a course on cold approach and also on texting. It's actually silly.
Well, let's put it this way. You will double, triple, or quadruple your body counts. Okay. If you're at 5, you're going to get to 30. If you're at 30, you're going to get to 80. You're going to double, triple, quadruple your body count if you join the mastermind and you go through the content and ask questions. Period.
Yeah, straight up. All right,
you can stay 10 days or not or whatever. But we should do more of these live streams. I don't know, like add like every once in a while, like one live stream, like every 2 weeks. In addition to this.
Yeah, we could do even just like a Q&A or grab people on to ask questions. That'd be easy.
Just like mastermind guys or something.
Is the Calendar link only for boot camps or virtual coaching too? No, you can book the same link for online coaching. It's usually a separate link, but fuck it, just book through. That is fine. You can ask about online coaching as well. Yeah, do more. Okay, only because you asked for a Drakeful. All right, you've been a consistent viewer with great questions. So.
What do you more? So, we'll do. I have a lot of reels and shit that I've been saving to react to. So if you guys would be interested in, like, I don't know, I'm just like fucking watching certain reels and reacting to it, we could do that. I just got to set up. I don't know how to set up the fucking live stream. Like
you need Indian tech support.
Yeah, I needed. Fuck this. I can't destroy India. Okay, we're keeping India. We're not nuking India. I need Indians to do my IT stuff and like help me out. I don't know what I'm doing with all this technology. So I need the IT guys. Okay, we're keeping India. We're destroying Pakistan. Hey, fuck Pakistan, right? Hey, we're destroying Pakistan. We're nuking Pakistan. We don't need Pakistan anymore. I'm on the side of India against Pakistan. I will go to war with India.
In a video game, this is all jokes. Lol, ha ha ha. All jokes. Don't demonetize us. Okay.
I will sacrifice my life for India. Grape.
All right. Happy days. Guys, thanks you all for watching. We'll catch you next week, same time, new tier list. See you.
Yeah. Indian YouTube tutorial.